don't usually walk over this way, so you could take a spin over here. I used to hang down here all the time. There was a 7-Eleven down here. And at night, when I first moved here and I was still partying and getting crazy, I used to hang out over here. And there used to be people here all hours of the night, just exchanging things, selling, buying, trading. What is this place here? I didn't even know there was a store over here. No sign. I don't know, it looks like some kind of I don't know, no sign. Wonder what this fence is about. This kind of new too, this never used to be here either. Rock and Roll Cafe up there. Rock and Roll Cafe. Hard Rock Cafe. Gotta not get my thumb in here. Yeah, every time I like read anything. Okay, oh god, this lady's not right. That's okay, go ahead. I'd rather you go, I don't want you to hit me. I wake up in the morning or afternoon or whatever. I wake up, and a lot of times the first thing I do is I start just going through the news to make sure the world's still here. And man, it just puts me in such a horrible mood, especially this month. All the bullshit. You know, they have well, it's almost over actually, thank God. I mean, we got what? How many more days are left in this month? It's a little subdued this year, though, the whole Pride thing. In years past, it was super in your face. I think they're getting the idea that people are about to snap back and start getting the rope, because it's become clear what the agenda is. It's not about tolerance. It's not about equal rights. It's about putting their penises in your child's ass. And that's it. That's all it is. I guess, you know, when you have a group of people that can't procreate, they can't organically make their own replacements to propagate their species, they have to steal them from somewhere. I was watching this thing where they were doing that march saying about we're coming for your kids and stuff. Yeah, wherever that was. It's like, what do you got? How are you guys planning on doing that? Well, they're already doing it, you know, by going through the sneaky means that they're that the master showed them, the hats, you know, who are you know, physically weak, physically meek, sickly, but they've somehow not somehow they've taken over through through abusing other people's goodwill. They worm themselves into positions where they can dictate the way society goes, you know. So they're kind of taking a tip from them. But it's satanic. The whole thing is satanic. Same thing with the hats. It all comes down to the same thing: God versus Satan. That's it. That's all it is. But you know, living in Hawaii, they're very pro penis in the kid's ass. So you got a lot of stuff here like that. Sad. It's sad. And then they of course co-opted the rainbow, which was originally God's promise after the flood, and that's precisely why they took it, so that it couldn't be used as a symbol of hope anymore. It's now a symbol of sodomy, you know. I used to be, I guess, tolerant. You know, I grew up around a lot of gay people, LGBT people. I've always had them in my life. Friends, neighbors, you know. I have my own personal history with that whole group. But it's turned me into almost a Muslim. So I can imagine what it's doing for people who weren't originally as open-minded as I was, or as friendly with the community as I was. I mean, it's making me like, I get angry. You know, I wake up and I look at all this stuff and I'm just like, these motherfuckers. And it's like I had a flag that I made for the movement, I think last year around this time. and it was a chocolatey clear with chocolate dripping off it on the flag, because that more explains what it is, a shit dick, which is better than the rainbow. I think it's more accurate to what it is, because what they're trying to do is they try to soften up the idea of what it is, which is sodomy, you know. So they're trying, oh, we'll use a flag and nice colors and bring the kids in. But when you break it down, what they're talking about is putting an erect penis into a ass, usually a man's ass, and they'd like to have a child's ass. That's what it is. But when they can't come out and say that or show that, so they have to wrap it up in this nice thing. Like, look, everybody likes rainbows, right? It's like, yeah, but you're not talking about rainbows. You're talking about shit dicks. It's very different. It's a whole different thing. It's an adult thing, too. If that's what you want to do, whatever. But they don't just want to do that amongst themselves. They want to do it to kids and your kids. And I remember when the gay marriage thing came up years ago. I remember at that time I was like, who cares? Don't do it. No, I was one of those fucking retards. Because I didn't know. I never thought that people could get down to the depths that they're down in now, you know. So I'm just like, oh, you know, if they want to do it, let them do it. I never thought they would go straight for the kids, which is what they did, you know. I mean, they went straight for them. It's only been how many years out since that. You know, I never thought something like NAMBLA would be like normalized to the point that it is, and now they're, you know, someone trying to claim it's a human right to be able to diddle kids. It's like, what the fuck? How do we get there so fast? Because the reason it got there that quick is because people didn't push back out of fear of being called a bigot or something. People are so paralyzed by the fear of being shamed on social media or in society that and if you do say something, or at least in the past it's been that way, if you do say something against them, they try to destroy you. You know, they'll try to get you fired from your job, try to make you lose your business, all this other bullshit, you know. They'll because they're organized. They're evil, they're despicable, but they're organized. There's some other groups that you might say that about in the past that, well, they weren't evil, but yeah, these people are very organized. But I think that the worm is turning because you just see it, you feel it, you know, you feel it in the society. I mean, it has to happen. This can't continue to go unchecked. Everything is about like nudity and sex too. Like, oh, we're just having a parade. It's like, well, do you have to fuck the dog in the street in front of the 9-year-old? I could do this for you. What? It's co-opted by corporations because it's Satan, it's evil, it's the devil. It's all the same thing. It all comes back to the same shit. It all comes back to the same thing. All this stuff, you know, I say that all the time, like all the ills of society, whatever problems there are, it all comes back to that same conflict. It's just God against the devil, you know, the same thing. All of it. Whatever group is mad about whatever, it's all dictated by that. Wow, that was a nice little walk. Like I got away from people, huh? Not a lot of people on that back route. This is where you can go through to the forest area, which I like to go to because there's a lot of people out here that hate nature, so they won't go back there. But I'm actually smoking a cigarette, so I'm gonna stay on the street with the rest of the fucking robots. Yeah, if you want to lose a lot of people or get people away from you, just go where God's creations are. And it leaves a lot of people, and a lot of people won't go over there. It's true too. It's so fucking weird too. Like I walk back in that forest area at Nia a lot, and it's like what it does, it runs parallel to this street here, but it goes through woods. If you've watched any of my videos, you've seen me go through there for sure, because I go through there a lot. You just won't see certain people over there. Because people are like afraid. There's certain people that are just afraid of nature. They don't like nature, and I don't know, they think it's God they're afraid of, really. It's not nature. So they just won't go near it, you know. They like the hard surfaces and the concrete. Like most major cities are. I'm very lucky to live in this one, because you don't see trees like this anywhere. You don't see nature like this anywhere in most cities. They yank that shit out. They want to keep you hard surfaces, concrete, steel, depression, gray. You know, that's just how they want it. So if they have greenery coming through here, they don't like it. They'll yank it up. They'll pull it out. You know, they don't want you to have this kind of stuff around you. But if they could do it here, they would. But they can't, because there's too much of it. Oh, trust me, they would. If they thought they could, they'd tear this all up. But it would just keep coming back, you know. So it would be too much work for them. They'd have to. Well, I mean, too much work. No one likes to do work out here anyway. It's the heat. I think it's the heat. It's just like a lot of indifference to activity here. But yeah, they'd have to be busy all day tearing up the fucking. And of course, no one understands the symbiotic relationship human beings have with plant life and nature. We breathe what they expel, and they breathe what we expel. I used to think that was just something most people knew, but these days most people don't know fucking anything. It's crazy. This whole thing about you know, being of average intelligence, I don't know, I'm starting to think I'm wrong. The more I see people talk, and the more I hear them talk, and the more because like I don't know, I kind of lost track of the culture. Like the culture has gone to a place where it's like it's disposable. That's part of the ADD sort of culture thing, where people can't retain information because they can't retain anything. That's a side effect of having these quick attention spans, is that it goes in and goes out, goes in and goes out, goes in and goes out. So knowledge is almost the same way, because you train your brain to be that way. You know, when you spend hours watching 2-second videos on TikTok, and that's only like a small group of people. I mean, that's the kids, right? But a lot of stuff is geared toward that sort of ADHD sort of mentality. What it does is it makes you not retain information well either, like important information or pertinent information about your surroundings or your world or your area. You can't hold on to it that long. So people probably don't know that plant life is keeping them alive by creating oxygen. You know, you'd have people that would want to tear it all out. I don't know, I don't like trees. What? You'll find people like that, you know, it's fucking weird. Usually in the cities, you know. But they if they could, they would tear it all out of here, but they can't. Because God's stronger than they are. They could run around God all day putting up concrete blocks. He's going to come through the cracks, you know.
I wanted to...
And it's so clearly defined, the disgusting grossness and filth of it, and like this, not God, you know. Not God. You know, it's simple. It's vibrant, and it's life. You can tell that there's life to it. No life. You know what I mean? It's simple.
And I know, and I meant to be like me.
333 Ross. I'm actually not going in. You see, so many people go in through the outdoor here. And in my head, I always sing Raspberry Beret. People don't know. They you know, God love them. They're just trying to make it through the day. They don't know much. They just see an opening and they go for it. You know, kind of like that ties into the fucking Pride Month. They see an opening, they fucking go for it. All right, yeah, I'm gonna get myself angry. I'm gonna tune out for now. Well, I'm gonna tune you guys out for now, and I'm gonna go back home, try to take a shower, calm down, read the Bible a bit. Maybe not the Bible. That's even more fucking depressing. I'll get my Proverbs book and look through that and try to figure out how to work some of those spells. I got one book that just has Psalms and one book that just has Proverbs. So I know one explains the other. As far as magic goes, I'm just trying to figure out, and other stuff, and I'm not going to get into it now, but a lot of times they say God will do this or God will do that. It's weird because what they're saying is like, God will do this, God will, or Jesus does this, and Jesus does that sometimes. What they're describing is what you can do if you do what they do, in a magical sense. Or at least that's how it's been explained to me. But I'm still cracking into that whole thing. I've just recently come across that information from a few different sources. It's been around for a long time. I'm just new to it, You learn new stuff all the time, so I'm gonna go work on my Bible spells and try to ignore all the incest and animal sacrifice going on in it. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.